for people such as our minority leader for the House of Representatives to be among us, for us to understand and see the people who are doing the work, to ensure that we have representation in this building. If these little kids can ask us what's going on, we need to work to make sure they don't have to keep asking this question. Do y'all hear me? We need to let them know that Black excellence exists in Oklahoma. We need to let them know Black excellence is in young people that just performed, that you heard today and this morning in this building in the state capitol. And we need to continue to make sure that their voices continue to be heard throughout this building and the state of Oklahoma.
Hey everybody, this is your girl Damali right here at NYCU.FM and World One Development's news you can use, and we still at the Capitol.
Absolutely. I'm Charles Harper with NYCU.FM and World One Development. Damali,
Yes.
we got a special guest. We got the person that put it on,
Yes.
the person that kept the train on the tracks, brought the energy and the vibe. So my respect level, it was already there, but it's up 10 levels
Exactly.
after today, because everybody can't do what our special guest did.
Yes. So we are blessed actually to be in her space. This is her space, her house, where she resides, right? So we are here with Senator Nikki Nice.
Yes.
Hi.
Yes. How are you? Are you tired?
It's been a long day, but I'm grateful because you don't get to see this many people that look like me in this building often, so I'm very grateful for that.
Yes. So this is your third year of this particular event.
Yes.
How has it grown, or have you seen it since outside of this year?
I have been the MC all 3 years.
Okay.
So I was the MC as a council person the last 2 years, and this year the MC as an actual senator. So before I didn't reside in the building. Right now I actually reside in the building. So I have seen it. I've seen it grow tremendously.
Mm-hmm.
We've also seen the leadership evolve.
Yeah.
And to now have a representative from last year that is now a mayor.
Yes.
And come back to this space and speak up about his experience and the history that he's been able to set. It means a lot. It has grown. Very grateful that people continue to come. And of course, these stories and our history resonates now more than ever.
So there were a lot of little people.
Yeah.
Here in the bill. I mean, like a lot of little people. What do you think they feel about what they see and seeing people that look like them?
Well, I know they're excited, but because there's a lot of talking, I'm sure they're like, we don't know what's going on.
Right.
A lot of them. But I believe I'm like one of those. I was one of those kids where it's like, okay, I remember when I was little, I went to the Capitol and it was people that looked like me.
Right.
So they'll remember this experience in the future. And I think that's the important part, that they get to come and at least see it and feel it. And then one day when it resonates, like, wait, I was actually in that building.
Right.
I was actually in that space. So I'm a little ahead of the game when it comes to other kids because I've been there.
Mm-hmm.
So I've seen people that look like me, and hopefully this will encourage them to ensure that they are a part of what happens and continues to happen here around Oklahoma.
Yeah, I love it. Hey, people see the glory, but they don't know the story.
Amen.
You know what I'm talking about?
Amen.
You are the glory today. Right.
That's the word.
So a little bit about maybe elementary school, high school, college, or any of that, because, it was a time when you was just working and trying to get here, potentially, but now you're here. So can you maybe encourage or inspire somebody to say, hey, I went to school here and I did this, and then I kept grinding, I stayed disciplined, and whatever it was that gave you what you needed to have to get here today?
Sure. My story is, one of those kids. I was curious. My mom took me to boat with her, and I didn't realize that experience until now. Those things continue to resonate with me as, okay, that's why she took me to understand what was happening around me. But I'm a graduate of Northeast High School, one of our high schools in Oklahoma City. I went on to started at UCO. I was one of those kids. I enjoyed college a little too much.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, partied a little too much, and ended up taking a break and learning and understanding, going to a couple of colleges before I finally figured it out. I graduated from Lakeland University with a broadcast journalism degree, and I've been on television. I did television in Oklahoma City, and I did radio for about 11 and a half years. So I was doing all those things before this opportunity arose. And when it came, it was just one of those things like I said, no, absolutely not. I don't want to run for office. That's not what I want to do. But sometimes when, the Lord tell you what to do, you just have to be obedient. And here I am. So I served on city council, Oklahoma City, for 6 years. I was the second African-American woman to ever serve our city in Oklahoma City. And now I think I'm the 7th person to ever serve Senate District 48. That looks like me. So I'm very grateful to be here. This is not my story because, again, I never planned to run for office. But, sometimes people are chosen and called to do different things that you may not say, I want to do, but I'll tell you what, you're always equipped.
Yes.
So I'm grateful that the gifts that I have made room for me, and the people that I have been able to work with, I found favor. So I'm grateful for those things. And being here, I never would have imagined being a senator, let alone my own community that I was born and raised in. So this is, a dream for me to be here, and I do not take it for granted.
That is awesome.
Oh, we're going to take a pause just to put the L's up in there. Everybody pronounce it.
Hell yeah. Here we go.
All right. Okay, now you can continue.
Yes. So one of the questions, we actually got to interview State Representative AJ Pittman.
Okay.
And one of the questions that Charles asked her, I thought was very, very profound. And I want to ask you the same question. In this time of, it seems really scary right now for people, what words of wisdom do you have for folks right now to help them get through what we're experiencing with, our federal government and all of that's happening right now?
I have to pause because there's so many emotions thinking about that. I will say this. We have to worry about ourselves. Mm-hmm. We have to worry about ourselves. And I love the motto that's been resonating with a lot of people. We don't worry about people Harriet Tubman would have left behind. So we have to make sure we're taking care of the people who want to ensure that we are moving forward and work with those people. It is tough. It's scary, being one of 2 Black people on the Senate side out of 48. That tells you just what I'm faced against every single day.
Right.
But if not me, then who?
Right.
So if not you, then who?
Mm-hmm.
We have to be at the table. When it hurts, we go cussing, we go fussing, we go screaming, we go crying. But we have to make sure we are the ones who are at the table to make sure we make space for somebody else. And if we are able to do that, that will allow our communities and our people to perish. And that's not what we're called to do.
Exactly.
We're called to be the uplifters of our community, of our neighbors, of our friends, of our family. So while right now it is very rocky, you cannot lose hope. You can't lose hope, because one thing about it, we can still buy a book. We can still share a story. We can still Google about our history and our ancestors. We still have family members that can tell us our stories. So we still have ways and means to ensure that we get to where we need to go. So while it's tough, we still have ways that we can make sure our voices are heard, our voices are at the table, and our voices are amplified for the people that may not be able to do the same.
Man, thank you for that. That was heartfelt. We appreciate that and appreciate your fight. You like you say, kicking, screaming, and we got to do. You're doing it. But what can the people do to support that effort? You're at the table representing, us. So what can they do? And whether that's voting or just coming out or making sure they stay in tune, what can the people do to support your effort?
First, you do need a vote. I don't care what anybody says. Voting matters. If you don't believe me, look at all the people that represent the different districts in this building. They were voted in. Some of them didn't have opponents. And guess what? Now they are making laws that are trying to eliminate the fabric of some of our history. So you have to show up, you have to vote, but you have to be informed. Be an informed person. If you don't know something, if you are a part of a certain party, go find out what they're doing. Find out how you can participate. Make sure you're engaging in how you can connect with your neighborhood, right? Even your neighbor, to let them know what's coming on the ballot. Educate yourself, educate them, and take them with you if you know someone that needs to get to the polls. But also, again, we have to organize, we have to advocate, and we have to show up. So if you are in understanding the voting process, then that means now you need to understand what's happening on the local level. You need to understand what's happening on the county level, and you need to also make sure you know what's happening on the state level. So that means you need to know who represents you, not just the mayor.
Right.
We all happy we got a black mayor, but who is your council person?
That's right.
Who is your county commissioner? Who is your House of Representative elected official? Who is your state senator? Those are the people who we have to make sure we're talking to, as well as our congressional leaders, because we have to vote for them too. They are in D.C. voting against a lot of some of our best interests, and we have to make sure we know the process to call. People call me all the time. I'm headed to a meeting and people are calling about one bill that they do not want to continue and go forward. So imagine if our communities understood the power of being able to call, show up, and send an email. So those are the things we have to do. Those resources are still available for us. So we have to make sure we are the ones educating ourselves, but also educating our community about what is on the table. Pay attention to the council meetings, pay attention to those commission meetings, pay attention to those county commissioner meetings, because even there's committees on the city council level, right?
Yeah.
Where it's already baking and it gets to the city council, they're just saying yes or no.
Exactly.
So if we're not in those rooms as they're preparing these things, we're gonna get left behind. Trust me, I know it. I've been through it and I understand it. So we have to be at the table. And also, again, top two, make a mission for yourself to call whoever it represents you. If they are properly representing you, they will talk to you.
Yeah.
Or they will make
So
sure.
I have one final question. So there were a lot of little girls that look like us that were here today. What would you say to one of those little girls looking at you about perseverance, about what it takes to get where you are?
That's a loaded question, but I would say I'm here because of them. I'm here because of the little girls that look like me, because they need to see that this is something that they can do. So that's why I'm here. I hope also that as they see me, that they say, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to be. I want to be like that. I want to be better than that.
Right.
So I hope not only they come and want to be this, but they'll be better. Yeah, help our communities move forward. So that's what I would say to anyone that looks like me. I get excited when I see little kids and just people in general that have a thirst to meet who represents them and will take the time to come and say hello. Right, because it makes me feel good, because it lets me know that you're paying attention, but it also helps me to show them that there's representation at the table and it looks like them.
Yes.
I love it. Hey, we here, Oklahoma Capitol. Hey, this has been great. Thank you for taking us some time. MCing 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
This has been a great event. Word One Development News you can use. Hey, this trip down the Turnpike, Damali, I would say it was well worth it.
Well worth it.
You know, and so until next time, y'all, we live. It's Black History here at the Capitol. Here with the Senator.
Yeah.
She did a great job. She
Yeah.
took out some time, but we got to get ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a meeting to go to. Yeah, and he's like,
Listen, before you take off, let's see. D9's in the house.
D9's in the house.
Yeah.
NYCU.FM. See y'all next time. Thank you.
NYCU.FM is live 24/7 on your computer, on your smartphone. Take us with you everywhere you go with shows like News You Can Use, It's a New Day with Angie, Molly's World, Mr. Harper's Neighborhood, The Super Mix with DJ JB Smooth, The Platinum Flow with April, The Love Lounge with Rodney Rue, and Overdrive the Nights with Mr. Energizer. We've got you covered. Always informative, inclusive, and the hottest music for adults from yesterday and today. Lock us in now at www.nycu.fm. NYCU.FM.